Hello students, welcome back to Kiran's English Hub. In this video, I'm going to teach you the last grammar part of the Sem-IV of second year of Osmania University degree students. So in this reported speech, you totally have 5 exercises, but I'm going to deal only 3 that would be asked for your examination. Okay, this is only for the purpose of examination. And look at the first exercise. Here, before getting into this reported speech, let me tell you some of the grammar parts here. See, reported speech is completely based on the past tenses, and when you are using the reported speech, you would come across certain things like a reported verb and also reporting conjunction. So you have to focus on these two things when you are going through, and also tenses would be there. So let me just write some of the tenses here for your clarification. Now I'm not going to teach you complete tenses. I'm just giving you some clarity of the tenses. You have a simple present tense. The simple present tense is used to change into simple past. Present continuous changes to past continuous. Present perfect changes to past perfect. Present perfect continuous changes to past perfect continuous. Next, simple past changes to past perfect. Next, past continuous changes to past perfect continuous. Next, past perfect remains as past perfect. Past perfect continuous remains as past perfect. Now, while going through the tenses, while going through these sentences, I would tell you which is what. There is nothing to worry. In this exercise 1, you have to fill these blanks using the options which you see in that box, that is say, said, tell, told. Okay, now I would tell you one rule here. The rule is, see, in the direct or indirect speech, you would come across speaker and you would come across listener. Okay, so if at all only speaker is mentioned in any sentence, in the direct speech it is used as said. When you change that into indirect, you would come across said that. If at all speaker and listener both, if both are mentioned there, you would come across said to in the direct speech. Said to changes to told somebody that. Okay, these are the two rules which you have to remember. Okay, now I will tell you how to identify these speaker and the listener. Now if you can see, she dashed them, she wanted to resign. Now what can we use here? She is a speaker, next them are the listeners, they are both are mentioned, so here you have to go with told. Okay, very easy case. Next one, the principal dashed us to participate in intercollegiate sports competition. Now the principal is speaker, as is the listener, both are there, so what you can use here in this, told can be used. Let me right. Now look at the next one. You don't need to dash us, you don't need to tell us. Okay, this is 2 plus v1 case. This is the rule which you have to remember. 2 is followed by v1 in English. If at all any verb is used after 2, that must be only v1. Next one, he did not. Do forms, that means do, does, did in English, are only followed by V1. Okay, he did not dash a word. What you can use here? He did not say a word or he did not tell a word. Both can be used. Okay, did not say or did not tell. Next, I remember every word you dash yesterday. This is not a word, this is a word. Okay, this is a typing error. My bad. I remember every word you dash yesterday. You said yesterday, you told yesterday. What can be used here? You said yesterday. You told, if at all told is there, again you told me yesterday can be used. Only speaker is given, listener is not given. So only said. Next. Why didn't you dash her that in the morning? Why didn't you speaker, her, listener? Both are given. So what can we use here? Why didn't you tell or told? Didn't is there. So after didn't you have to go with only tell, not told. You cannot use past. Next. My friend dashed that he had completed this project report. My friend dashed that. Okay, my friend only speaker is given. So what you need here? My friend said changes to said that in the direct speech. That is as it is. Next, she called me last night and dash. Don't worry, I will manage on my own. Now she called me last night and she called me last night is already over. Okay, so now the speaker is saying don't worry. So what you need here? She said and said, called me and said. Next, the girl dashed that. The girl, what you can use here? Said that is given. The girl said that immediately, just like the seventh rule. Next, she dash. She had already seen the film. What you can use here? She said she had already seen the film. You can use it in the direct speech. Okay, so this is how you have to answer, both based on the speaker and the listener. Now in this exercise 2, you have the sentence which is already given and you have to find out the error in these sentences. The errors are, the sentence are not correct. There are certain errors in this. Let us find out the errors. Remember the rules I already told you. Okay, look at this. The traffic police said me. Now can you use said me? The traffic police is the speaker, me is the listener. What do you need here? Told me. Okay, next. He told he was Ashura's husband. Now can you use told in this case? Only speaker is given, there is no listener. This is all his information. So what you can use here in this case? He said. Okay, next. He says he was sure that justice will be done. Okay, now if you can see, look at this statement. He says he was sure that justice will be done. Now the statement is already in the indirect case, and here if you can see, says is given, there is no conjunction. He says that he was sure that justice would be given, or he says that he is sure that justice will be done. Now he was sure comes as the past, says present, will be in the future. We cannot use past here. You can go with he is sure, or you can also change this sentence into he said. But if at all said is used in this case, if at all you use said, he said he was sure that justice will changes to would. Okay, you have to change this the sentence into this way, or you have to change the tense. Okay, either of that error can be used. Next, the doctor advised me. Advised me what? Advised me take bed rest and eat nutritious food. Remember, these are the imperative sentences: advises, commands, requests, and orders. When you're coming across an indirect speech case in these sentences, remember, advised me to take, advised me not to take. If at all positive, you have to just use 2 plus v1. V1 is already there, that is take. If at all it is negative, you have to go with not 2 plus v1. Okay, next. They wanted to know what was my name. See, they wanted to know, it is already in the indirect speech. In the indirect speech, you cannot use this structure. If you use this structure, this comes as the one more question. Okay, you cannot use this structure in the indirect speech. Now what you can use is, he wanted to know what my name was, and no question mark also. In indirect speech, you would not come across any question marks. Okay, next. He told me to come back tomorrow. What you can use here? He would say come back tomorrow. He told me to come back tomorrow. Okay, what you can use here? You cannot use tomorrow. You actually have to change this word into indirect speech. In the indirect speech, you would come across the next day. To understand this more, once read the textbook before, not the exercises. Okay. Next, she said she was asked to come here. So here in the indirect speech actually changes to there. Okay. Next, I wondered whether he can help me. Remember, this is already in indirect speech. Indirect speech you will not get can, you would come across could. All the modal verb changes into past. Next, my cousin said him. Can you use said him? Again, speaker listener case. What do you need here? Told him. Next, he said he had brought the bicycle 10 years ago. In the indirect speech, ago cannot be used. We have to use before. Okay, right? So these are the sentences which you can change it into proper ones. And here is our task, important task, which is in this exercise 3, you have to change these statements into indirect. Okay, just follow me as I'm giving you. So they said, when you change this statement into indirect, you would get as they said that. Said changes to said that, which I had already given you. Said that dogs are fun to play with. Okay, now in this statement is called as universal fact. We are speaking about the nature of these dogs. So in these universal facts, you cannot just change the sentence into past. The sentence must be used as is. They said that dogs are fun to play with, as it is. You cannot change the tense. Okay, since it is universal fact, that is one rule. Next one, she said, do you live near the school? Now, this is a question. In the question, the reporting verb changes little bit. She asked, and the reporting conjunction here would be if or whether. If or whether. You changes to if or whether I lived near the school. Now you would ask me, sir, what is happening? See, this is the question, right? This is an interrogative statement. In the interrogative statements, you would come across a reporting verb, that is first case, and the reporting conjunction would be if or whether in the interrogative statements. Next, do you live changes to, this is do you live is simple present. Simple present changes to rule. Do you remember? Simple past. Now, what is the structure of simple past? Subject plus V2 plus object. Now, see, this is subject, V2 and object. Okay. Next one. The guest said, I don't like sugar in my coffee. Now, look at this. The guest said changes to the guest said that he or she, both can be used. I can be both he or she. Let us say he. Don't is simple present changes to simple past. That means he did not. After that, you have to use like, sugar in my changes to his coffee. Okay. Rest of the sentence is as it is. The guest said, I don't like sugar in my coffee. Changes to the guest said that he did not like sugar in his coffee. Next, Elisa said to me, how old are you? Now, said to me is nothing but asked, right? That because that is a question. Elisa asked me how old I was. Now, look at this sentence here. All is, am, are from the direct speech changes to was or were. So here she's asking me, right? So me in the sense I, and here we cannot again go with the present helping verbs. We have to go with past helping verbs. In the past helping verbs we have was or were. So I was or I were. What can be used with I? I is only used with was. Okay. Next, follow the rules which I'm telling you. She said to me, when will you be back in your office? Now, said to me in the sense, what can we use here? This is a question. Again, we have to go with she asked me. When conjunction is used as this, when, will you change this to when I would. You cannot again question. You have to change it into subject and helping verb. When I would be back in my office. Okay, see, in your office changes to in my office, will changes to would, when is used as when, you changes to I. Okay, so this is how you have to change a statement, right? Let us move to sixth one. The boss said to the secretary, don't forget to order A3 size papers. These are the simple order statements. Now, the boss said to secretary, right? Now, in the simple orders case, you have to use the boss ordered the secretary not to forget to order A3 size paper. Now, if you can look at this statement, the relationship between boss and secretary is sense of order. Now, these are simple order statements which begin with don't or which directly begin with the verb. And in these sentences, you have to use the reporting verbs as order. Okay. Now, the boss ordered secretary, and in the imperative sentences, I already told you, if it is positive, you have to use 2 plus V1. If it is negative, you have to use not 2 plus V1. Okay. Next one. My friend said to me, I am meeting my project head tomorrow. Now, look at this. My friend told me that. Why told me that here? Because said to is given, speaker listener case. Told me that I am changes to he or she. I am meeting is present continuous, changes to past continuous. Past continuous is he was meeting. My project head changes to his project head. Tomorrow changes to the next day. Right? Next one. This is the last set we have. They said we were planning to visit the next week, visit you the next week. Now look at this statement. They said changes to, they said that, said changes into said that. They said that we in the sense they were planning is past continuous statement. Past continuous changes to past perfect continuous. Okay, they had been, past perfect continuous is had been planning to visit you. You changes to me next week in the sense the following week. You can change the next into the following week. Okay. Next, he said, please help me lift these bags. He, please in the sense requested. This is also imperative sentence. He requested to help him lift these changes to those bags remains as bags. See here, please is given, that's why we are using requested. He requested to help him. He requested to help him lift those bags. These changes to those. Me changes to him because that is sentence subject is he. Next one. The watchman said to us, don't play cricket in the garden. Now look at this. The watchman. What can be the reporting verb here? Don't play. What is this don't play here? What is the reporting verb you can use here? Don't play can be. Now look at this. The watchman What is this said to us? Don't play cricket in the garden. What is that? It can be used as warning. The watchman warned us, don't play, is used as not to play cricket in the garden. Okay, so this is how we have to check the statements very carefully. I hope see, this is not a complete class on direct indirect speech. So what are the statements that we have here? I try to give them with the proper clues. Now make sure that you take the exact sentences in your books. This will be very much useful for your examination. So thank you for watching. If you are the first time viewer to our channel, please do subscribe and also share these videos with your friends, and see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching.